It happened in Nottingham, England, in 1996. If you have the opportunity to visit the great central library of that city and take a look at the newspapers, you will find information about the facts. I remember that at that time, a friend of mine stayed to sleep in my house for a few days because a relative of his got sick and his parents had to go to see him. As we were both only children, we had been getting along very well for a few years. Our favorite hobbies were watching TV and, of course, telling each other horror stories when it got dark. One day, we decided to make this last activity a little more fun. We both cooperated to buy ourselves a pair of walkie-talkies. I remember that at that time, commercial use was becoming very popular, and precisely, they were very suitable for what we had in mind. In those days, we used to sleep in the same room. But since we bought the walkie-talkies, we agreed to sleep in separate rooms, and when it was night, tell each other terrifying stories. In this way, each one would be in his room, and we would make our sleep time more interesting. That's when we heard it. It was more or less 2 in the morning. We had been scaring each other for hours with horror stories, and just when Scott was telling me the legend of a woman who supposedly appeared at night in a forest near our houses, it happened. Well, the truth is I've never seen it, but many people say they have. How scary. Yes, precisely, my father told me that one day he heard her scream. That, hey, do you hear me? Hey. Those sounds had been quite terrifying for me, so I decided to run straight to his room. My surprise was so great, because when I opened the door, I could see that Scott was sitting on the bed, listening to everything with the walkie-talkie. Hey, how did you do that? No, I didn't go. I thought you were playing a joke on me. What? So, what the hell is this? What is this? I don't know. I didn't go. Are you sure you didn't go? No. Really, look. I'm not. I remember that at that moment, his face became totally pale. So, what is this? He quickly turned off his walkie-talkie, but that strange sound was still emitted by the one I held in my hand. A very strong chill ran through my whole body, as I understood that my walkie-talkie could not be receiving that signal from where Scott was. Hey, wait, it's very strange. God, what is that? Stuck in fear, we decided that it was better to put mine down too. Several things went through our heads. Were we hearing sounds from beyond? Had our walkie-talkies gone mad? That's what we thought, or rather, it was what made us feel more at ease. Do you think these things are failing? After thinking for a while, we decided that it would be better to sleep together, and for now not to turn on the walkie-talkies again. As far as we could tell, the night passed normally, and I say, as far as we could tell, because when dawn broke, some police sirens woke us up. I remember we quickly went down the stairs to find my mother who was looking out the living room window towards the neighbor's house. Some police trucks were parked outside and our neighbor Randolph was escorted by several officers, screaming countless insults and even tried to escape on one occasion just before they put the handcuffs on him and he was introduced into the back of one of the trucks. We were shocked by what we had seen and in general very confused. Randolph had moved with his wife and baby about a month or 2 after buying that house at a very good price because it belonged to an old man who died of supposed natural causes and the government had put it up for sale. Randolph seemed to be a good man. He was very reserved, and as far as we knew he was very calm. He didn't seem to be the type of person who would be arrested for doing something wrong. We didn't know anything about his wife Jessie and her baby, and for propriety, we didn't go to ask him what had happened. We thought it would be better to wait a little longer. It was not until the next day when we read the newspaper that we found out what had happened that night. Shush. Apparently, Randolph had murdered his wife and his baby, after which, according to his own statements, he was the victim of horrible appearances of an old man who had been tormenting him for years and finally had lost reason. However, the most disturbing is due to the fact that the baby monitor they had placed in their house had been on that night. Scott and I heard everything.